the call centre in India, he rings now and again. Normally I spotted international, I won't answer it, you know. I didn't used to answer where it said withheld, but I do now because the local hospital is on with all international calls. I won't answer, but I've answered this by accident more than once. Some Indian chap who wants to have control of my computer over to him. My computer's full of viruses. And for a fee, if he speaks Welsh, he's very offended now. I don't know if he does, and I don't get it.
Rio's going to France on a school trip next month.
Oh?
Rio? Yeah. Off to France on a school trip next month.
Where in France, Rio?
Paris and...
Brittany, Mont Saint-Michel.
Which?
You know the monastery on the island, Mont Saint-Michel?
Yeah, St. Michael's Mount.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Mont Saint-Michel. I've been there.
Yeah, and Paris.
Do you speak any French, Rio?
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
You looking forward to it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we said, if he's abroad, where are we going? We're off to Dubai.
Oh, well. That's near Grimsby, isn't it?
So, come on then, can you remember the story of the archers then? Black.
Yes, there's no story about it. It was Edward the First, the Second and the Third. There were rebellions being raised in Wales, so they raised Welsh troops as mercenaries. And the Welsh longbowmen were the best longbowmen in Europe because they had to practice from childhood to develop the muscles. It's a very simple thing to pull, the longbow, but you need enormous bloody strength to pull it. You know, you go to a modern archery club and you get ladies from the bank and they're doing this. You couldn't do that with it. You had to be able to pull about 150 pounds across your shoulder. And they raised an army of archers who doubled up as light infantry, based on the parish of Llantrisant, not Llantrisant town, the parish of Llantrisant and adjacent parishes. And we are in the old parish of Llantrisant. And they fought in many wars in France. They fought in Crécy, they fought at Poitiers. Generations later they fought at Agincourt, but they weren't the Black Army. And they had a uniform, they were black. And they were known as the Black Army. And when they came, they were paid, you know, they were mercenaries, they fought for money. And unlike many mercenaries, even if you offered them more money, they wouldn't change side, they'd give them their word. It was a very clever move on the part of English kings, because of these thousands of young Welshmen serving as mercenaries in their army, they weren't at home in Wales to raise rebellion. And when they came back, they were given certain rights on common land, over woods, the rights to gather firewood, and they've kept very careful records right down to this present day. These Welsh longbowmen, and we are Black Army stock. And under Welsh law, you could inherit through the female line, and those who inherited through the female line were known as petticoat commoners. And my grandfather, his great-grandfather, was a petticoat commoner. He'd inherited through his wife's line. No, you would have been better get wise to call your great-grandfather a petticoat anyway. And it passed down through the eldest line, and I've got a cousin, he's still alive, he's 85 now. He owns it now, and he's got all the documents. And he won't give them to anybody. He won't, he's a queer bloke. He won't show them to anybody, he won't give them to anybody. but we had a Black Army stock.
So in a nutshell, what you're saying, in fighting the Agincourt and all the others...
Agincourt was much later on.
Yeah, well, yeah, but...
Tracy, Poitiers.
Bear with me. We unfortunately could have been at war with some of Joanne's ancestors.
No, but we're going back to the Victorian days.
Oh, this is before then.
My auntie did a family tree, and it was a French guy who got shipwrecked in the Victorian days, and that's where our name comes from.
We've got French blood in the family on my mother's side. There was tremendous trade with small sailing ships between West Wales and France and northern Spain, and it's been lost now, but we have French blood in the family. Somebody, probably a French sailor, married a local girl, you know. We have French blood in the family.
Hey, long before then, Drake and the Spanish Armada, when all the Spanish that got beaten washed up on South Wales, that's why we've got black hair.
No, it's long before that. It goes back to Neolithic times.
Right.
That the people who occupied Wales in Neolithic times, when the great glaciers retreated, they came from 3 parts of the continent, and 1 part came from the west coast of Spain and the west coast of France, and they came up the western side of Wales, you know, Cardigan and Pembroke in this day and age, and then moved inside. But I'm getting quite maudlin here.
Right, we're going to get down to the